that. And they said, hey, this thing's in the water. Let's use explosion like a death charge. I was like, that's a great idea. Go ahead. And he does so, and he rolls like the detonate on self version of explosion. He just rolled really poorly.
Nice.
So on the
Oh,
boat,
yeah.
the boat detonates. He gets thrown through the air into the water with like water fae who are waiting, like, sup. So he's getting swarmed by water fae, and he decides to do like Aloha snack bar, the next explosion spell. So like the other players see him get dragged under, and then like a fucking depth charge explosion. But the good thing is that he killed enough water fae to help the party level up, which was, I know, like it's something.
Yes, the glorious suicide bomber tactic.
Well, from what I've found, the best way to level up is to have one of your teammates die.
Yeah.
Sacrifice to the great maw. No, please. Sorry, buddy. Shit. Too funny.
Thank you for flying Gorgon Airlines.
Hey, Flash, how you doing?
Hey, 8 months.
I mean, I knew it
Thanks for
wasn't
the sub, bud.
possible after the whole Alpha Squad screwing us over thing, but I did kind of want to do a collab, crossover stream. That's what it is with Alpha Squad, just to have another Southern Elf that understood the struggle.
Well, there's still Vietco, but he's like a Southern Elf racist, so I don't think you understand
Yeah,
the
a
struggle.
Southern Elf that hates other Southern Elves.
Hates
I
Southern
should say.
Elves, yeah.
Oh, he's Uncle Ruckus?
The Southern Elf
Cool.
Uncle Ruckus. Good lord.
So, guys, here's
That was not a comparison I was
shit.
going to make. But you did. He's like a Southern Elf Uncle Ruckus. I hate how accurate that is, too. You uppity Southern Elves. There we go. All of them are sent out. We are waiting on... Nope, there's Blubby. We have one more, don't we?
Is it Mega?
Mega. One has to go.
Like
Waffles,
suspicious thing.
pancakes, French toast, or cinnamon rolls. Pancakes can go.
He's playing the League of Legends.
Pancakes are just worse waffles, in my opinion, and you cannot change it.
It's true.
It's true. All right. So depending on how the event rolls go, today could be really boring or very not boring very quickly.
I think I want the boring part.
Because you guys...
I don't have the energy.
I don't have the energy. I'm tired, boss. I ain't got the energy. Because you guys warped back to Goldmount Crossing, didn't you?
Yes.
So remind
So
me,
mad at the random attack.
why is it always females? It's not fair, boss. It's not fair.
Oh god, that is going to be the
That's
swear
truly not.
set up in future sessions. When I'm done with this, I am going to be crying.
Today in the Veil
Truly
Riders,
not
Blobby gets
fair.
bodied by another female NPC. Fuck!
Don't you bloody dare! If you keep on putting that out, my character is going to have a slight resentment to females.
The Veil Rider game breeds an incel. More at 9.
Oh, fuck you.
I just realized this whole time I was muted.
Yeah, you were. So remind
Yeah,
me,
you're welcome.
you guys went back to Goldmount Crossing to a hey Lord, how you doing? To a particular place or just outside the city? I forget where your circle was.
It was
Outside of a
slightly
poop farm.
outside. Yeah, it was like
Outside of a poop farm,
around this
like, so,
area,
like,
kind of the
right-
further.
it was like right here in this area.
Okay, so this way.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Put it right here. That way you're just only a day away from
Yeah.
Goldmount. Okay, so we're gonna pick back up more or less where we left off, where you guys were attacked by you whacked a assassin with a pan. So I remember, like you both whacked assassin with a pan,
And
and you've made an enemy for life.
And
Yeah.
got littered
Yes,
by
we-
MP90 bullets, got explosives, got frozen, and got
We made another enemy of life through no fault of our own.
No, this one was on my bad. I came up, smashed her with a pan, knocked her down,
Wanna
and then
see some
Mega
shit?
stabbed her
Whips
with
out
8
pan.
giant spikes.
Yeah.
and I just shot her with as many bullets I can put inside her. Jeez.
Okay. So you warp yourselves just outside Mount Crossing with your teleportation cope spell. And what? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Cope. But and now
sure, why
so
not?
more or less you're about how far outside the city was this circle you made?
I think still
Oh,
visible of the city. It's
Good
only
to see you,
it's
Brian.
gone
yeah,
for a full
we
day.
could see the city. It just wasn't like exactly there.
Okay.
So
So you're within eyesight of the city then of Mount Crossing.
yes,
Okay.
just
I will say that as you guys kind of come down where you guys are, you can also see on the other side of the very long bridge that the things have changed since you were last here. The bridge itself is kind of rubbly now. Like it was mostly intact. Now it looks a little less intact. And you see that that there are like these weird obstacles in the river that are all around, and it looked like giant like giant balls just covered in wood and metal and stuff that have been thrown in and anchored down in the actual river itself. And then across the river, it is pretty far away, but you guys can see that the orc side of the river has been built up by quite a fair margin.
Thank you for flying Gorgon Airlines.
Thank you, Brian, for giving that gift a sub. But you guys are now there with your stricken Viking. What is your game plan?
well, me personally, as soon as we're actually out of there, like as soon as the spell ends,
Mhm.
I'm going to jump out of the fucking Viking and then fire up a flare.
Fire up a flare?
Yes, to
Hey, Killjoy.
just
Thank you.
get some assistance from the fucking harpies. I guess I don't know.
Oh, you're doing a resupply flare, pretty much.
Yes. pretty
Okay.
much. Because we don't have anything.
You've got stuff?
We got bullets, and that's about it.
Yeah, we got bullets.
We
And
barely
broken-
have those.
the broken.
Wait, so you guys didn't... So the Viking's not with you? Or it is?
No,
No, the Viking is with us.
It's just like
Oh.
we have like food and bullets.
Gotcha.
We have no
okay.
healing supplies. We have no like I don't know how our even our explosives are doing. I think we just have the charges.
Bit low,
Yes.
yeah.
It's a bit low.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So your flare, your signal flare for the hoppies goes up. And
I wonder how many bullets you can use to buy a soup, a bottle of soup.
I will trade you 5 9mm
One.
casings for soup.
No, you can get a bowl of soup for 1 bullet as long as you put it in the guy.
Oh god!
I don't think you understood what I said. I am taking your soup.
Yeah.
Good lord.
This
I
was never
don't
an
know if
option.
that's I don't know if that's what he meant by the soup. Mm.
I'm taking this soup
Cannibalism.
by force. Pardon? Okay. So you shoot your signal flare up. You're currently outside Mount Crossing. So what is the plan? Like what was your plan going forward?
For now we just sit and wait. I suppose that Q
You can
could
talk to your favorite NPC.
yeah, no, before we even do that, I suppose that Q can observe the situation, see if like there's anything going on in the actual village rather than on the bridge.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if you guys want to inspect the town itself, you can definitely do that. Yeah.
Yes.
So as you guys kind of like, hang out where you guys are, as you kind of look over the village itself, or that's not really a village, it's more a small city, large town. It kind of waffles back and forth between how many people die that day. Nothing really looks out of the ordinary. It looks a bit more built up. There's more people there now, for sure. There are a lot more people there now. But it looks relatively intact. I mean, nothing's really missing or anything like that, but it's definitely far more lively than it was when you guys left.
We were just I was just more it's just like I was more interested in whether or not there were just corpses strewn around.
No.
Of
There-
course
now down by the docks there are like there so if you look through like a rifle scope, you guys can kind of look along where the docks are, and you see that the docks have been heavily fortified and aren't nearly as popular as they were a little while ago. There are more fortifications. There's more weapons down there facing the river. And you can see that some of the ships that are there are like kind of low in the water or like half sunk. Clearly something odd's happened down there since y'all's absence from the town itself.
Okay.
Okay.
I suppose for now then it's just what do y'all want to do?
I want to go home.
Unfortunate timing. I have to.
I want to go home.
I want to go home. Yeah, no. I actually do have to go, and I probably won't be back for the night. So I'm gonna miss session. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh,
Hopefully-
something happened.
Hopefully you shouldn't
Yes,
die.
okay, well,
Well, yeah, hopefully
see.
everything works
we'll
out.
see.
Yeah, we'll see because
You have my grenades, smoke grenades, whatever. It's all yours.
you got my whip.
See ya.
Later, bud.
First action, explosion. I'd like to
Hmm.
take his character, cast explosion.
No, stop it.
Since I
Matt-
don't want to kill Mega's character. For now, I
everyone-
suppose that
Genocide
We could
already?
just-
Damn.
we could just make camp and just stay outside of the village,
Genocide speed
so
run.
we don't have to do.
Outside the village where the orcs are at?
No, the orcs are
No.
on the other side of the river.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. my
We
bad.
stay outside of the village and don't actually deal with their shit while we're resting.
Come
and
on, you have
waiting
your
for
favorite
resupply.
buddy in there you can talk to. Are you sure?
Hey, friend, son of a bitch.
I suppose I could talk to him, but beyond that, I don't want to
No.
get dragged into a conflict.
Again.
Yes,
Again.
I don't get dragged into conflict,
Again,
rams the
and
gate,
again, and
upsets
again.
the orcs. I don't be dragged in.
Yeah, at least this one would be like partially our responsibility here. Like,
Yeah, it's just partial. Nothing too special.
Nothing too special.
well, we
So-
didn't start the whole war. We just kind of, pressed
We
the
just
play
lived
button
through it.
again.
We didn't start the fire. Okay.
We just added Tinder.
Yeah.
So, but for now, I'm just like, I'm more focused on resting and working on my spell more.
Okay. That's right,
Also-
because you were working on a detection spell, right? That was
Yes.
kind of mirrored
Also-
by the brim touched ability to kind of innately know when magic's around.
Yes.
Okay. So you do. So we'll say that since you guys are kind of waiting and resting, I believe you're studying the orc book for it, correct?
Yes. Aaron was helping me, so
Mhm.
I'm also trying to like, I guess, use the orc knowledge to augment it. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
So you do have a bit of reading. Go ahead and do a brain power check for me, just pure brain power. Actually, hold on. You're a southern elf.
Yeah.
Do you have any like? Fuck, hold on. I got. What could you possibly use? we have very few skills, but fuck, are they like expansive? So let's see here. Do you have any? Let's go to something else real quick. What should an elf have?
What the dog doing?
What the dog doing? So
History and medical, he gets
Well,
the advantage.
yeah. So go ahead. As you're studying the history of orc magic, go ahead and give me a history check with advantage.
That's just literally just
Just your
At
brain
least it's
power.
advantage,
Yeah.
so.
I was trying to tie in
Mhm.
like so it wouldn't be nearly as bad for you. Because history should be mostly brain. Yeah, it's only brain power. Yeah.
it works.
All right. So you start to slowly work your way with the help of Aaron, correct?
Yes.
We're working through this this spell book, and my hair's a mess. Holy shit! And you slowly realize that there is a way, yes, that you can kind of use that Brim Touch innate ability to kind of imbue certain things with the kind of paste, and you kind of like let it soak into like porous objects like stone or wood. Of course, stone lasts longer, but in the book there's actually a fight between like multiple scholars on what's better, stone or wood or whatever else. It's kind of like a nerd fight in this fucking book. But there is one key feature, and it's that you need like a fresh brim touched horn to create this kind of paste.
Ooh.
And from just your studies as a Southern Elf and knowing about certain cultures that brim touch just don't give up their horns.
Yeah,
That was something they do.
that's taboo.
Yeah, well, that,
Yeah,
and it's also
I mean-
extremely painful for you. If I take your horn, will you die? It'll be extremely painful.
There's always complications.
Yeah, so more or less, as you're kind of reading along, you read that this was kind of discovered by trophies taken from orc wars, and because the Brim Touch and Agrodalings, they have such pride in their horns that the orcs said, "Hey, for trophies, let's take these fucking horns out." And they realized that part of the innate ability of detecting this magical, like detection shit comes from the natural elements within the Brim Touch's horns. So more or less they figured out, hey, we can make a poultice from this and be able to detect stuff just like a Brim Touched. You just need to get one of their horns.
Man, I wish I knew this when I was robbing that one Brim Touch lady.
What?
Yeah.
Robbing who?
When he tells the
Robbing who?
marriage ban,
Oh,
Yeah.
the marriage bans.
when you looted a corpse, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
To be fair, I think that's like the only Brim Touch we've met. So
Well, you met some
Oh, yes,
civilians
the
who were
only
Brim
Brim
Touch.
touch we met. Murder was an option.
Well, no, but you've all met other Brim Touched,
yeah.
yeah. Alright,
Who was
but
about
yeah,
to say the heck?
upon discovering that fact, ours is gonna just let out a sigh and just fuck. Another complication.
What happened?
But
None
you
of
are now aware of how to get this thing done. You've got to do some horrible things to do it. I mean, there are multiple ways to get a Brim Touched horn. There's killing one, and then there's also like grave robbing. Just some light casual grave robbing. So it all depends on what you want to do.
Well, from what we know, ours has no problem with taking the horns off of a dead body. So like,
Yeah, he has a point.
literally didn't take them anywhere. I was just looking at them because I was trying to what?
I was just borrowing them.
You were looking at them with your
I
grubby
wasn't
hands. I see
borrowing
how it
them
is.
for research purposes.
It's for research purposes. Like you
Yes,
said.
literally that for research purposes. I wasn't even gonna take them. Fuck.
I just wanted to know.
That's what you almost.
I want to just borrow one for a while for a thing.
Yeah, and
but yeah,
maybe not
But yeah,
just
since
like
that's
the
that's
process.
really not gonna be an option.
During-
So I guess I guess ours is just gonna try to find some other way to simulate this without having to
I plead the fifth.
dehorn a.
The secret ingredient
About
is
what
crime.
time would it
That's
be?
like specified killjoy. The secret ingredient is crime. Anyway, go ahead.
About what time would it be?
You guys left around morning, so it's probably still morning time. So y'all travel boom boom there and there.
Okay.
Because you guys are
I'm
ambushed.
going to use a thing of
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Use the thing of spices with breakfast
Okay.
and make breakfast while we're waiting and stuff.
Make some brekkie.
Yeah.
Okay, so you make breakfast for everybody, and it'll get your grit bonus from that, of course.
Yes, and I took the upgraded grit bonus, so it's +5.
Nice. Nice.
Damn.
Upgrades.
You know, I'm
Plus
so.
5 grit. Holy
Yeah.
moly.
So
I'm
that
so
means
mad.
15 temp HP. Don't forget.
Yeah.
You're so what?
I'm so
15.
mad though. I'm so mad though because I'm literally 1 point away in spellcraft from getting the 66 healing.
Give me.
Okay, 15, 10.
The part I'm sad about is supply lost grit.
Yeah, there's a few odd things in there that we had to go ahead and move around. Like I'm not like.
Well, I felt grit kind of works with supply because it's the idea of like if you're doing supply as scavenging, having the grit is the willingness to go into the muck and really search.
Also, if you're doing
Like-
supplies in like moving them from warehouse to warehouse, then you would have to have the grit to actually move that shit. It does make sense in
Right,
context.
right.
In that case, it would be brawn, but okay.
But it's fine. I got it. Put it into muck.
Actually.
But I would think oh yeah, when would the harpies come?
They're on a random timetable. So currently your flare is up. So we'll see real quick here. I'm running two programs right now. I mean,
15 days.
it's going to be a while. So not like they're going to come flying in out of the woodwork, rah, with like grenades. But you know they've seen your message. It's just going to take a while.
Oh, before I forget, Pakina check.
A what?
Pakina check.
Oh, Pakina check. Okay, go ahead. Okay, let's do a quick Pakina check. Let's see here. I mean, who knows what the fuck Pakina is now? Because she had gotten word of kind of where you guys were and was heading that direction. You guys bamped right the fuck back. So Pakina's out in the work somewhere.
Hope she's having a fun adventure.
Pakina like finds like where you guys were, like motor oil, and where the fuck are these people? like explosion holes and like fucking like rifle casings and like the forest. Like what the fuck? Dead orcs. Like what the fuck? What? You're not making it easy. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I think though after getting that, like discovering that little tidbit where I'm essentially roadblocked on having to get a fucking Brimtouch's horns to actually make the spell. I think out of frustration, ours will actually go into Goldmark Crossing.
Okay.
Just to do something to take his mind off of it.
Yeah, I got you. So you go down to Goldmount Crossing, and you kind of enter, you know, and there's people all around you, people going back and forth, and lots of chatter about the attack on the harbor. So as you're kind of walking around, kind of taking in everything, everyone's kind of talking about this horrifying machine that was more or less like harassing the harbor line, like throwing rounds at just the common folk about their day, sinking ships. Clearly something has arrived here in the hands of the Yorks that is causing quite the hullabaloo in town. And it sounds much like this very fast boat that goes super fast and should be like unseen speeds. It sounds a lot like the thing you guys saw when you guys ran through the gate and failed to destroy.
Yes.
So you reckon that's probably the boat you guys saw is currently harassing the townsfolk.
Man, it's too bad they don't have any brave heroes around. Sucks for them.
Yeah, it
Yes,
sucks for
no,
them.
indeed.
Sucks to
In
suck.
the meantime, I'm gonna go meet my friend, see the situation from his mouth.
Okay, so you're trying to find the town greeter. I have his name somewhere. Where's he at? Bravo, there you are.
It's okay. Ours never learned his name.
So
He actually did.
Talamaro is the brim-touched greeter of Goldmount, who you guys are currently in contact with. and I have right here, Talamaro, brim-touched greeter of Goldmount. So as you go and find Talum, who's currently in like the main city building, you walk and you realize, God, because he's a brim-touch, he has horns all curled up, and he goes, "Oh, it's you. Welcome back."
Yes.
I suppose.
Yes, we survived.
How'd your
orcs
thing go?
Interesting.
Well, our machine broke, so we have to get that repaired. But otherwise, we killed a few orc squads, so I guess it evens out.
Yeah, you guys definitely stirred the hornet's nest. I'll tell you that much. When you guys left,
Yes.
they got angry. Like, I'm not sure what you guys did, but they were really angry.
We kind of charged through their little blockade, probably killed a few on the way, and they ended up destroying their own tower. I'm not totally sure.
Oh,
I
is that what that
kind of
was?
zoned out.
We had thought you had, exploded it with something. We didn't realize they did it.
Oh, no. They tried to explode us, I would think, but then I suppose their spell backfired. I don't know. It's just I just saw an orc mage, I suppose, aiming at us, and then boom.
Well, they're mostly shamans, but the name fits more or less. But yeah, we had thought you guys had, like, done one of your special like explodey thingies and took out an entire tower. And let me tell you, when you took out that tower, I guess took itself out, they got really mad, and like it's a hot war here again. Like we're doing skirmishing back and forth. They got some big shiny boat thing that's been roaring up and down the river. We had to put out.
Yes,
We had to hire some of you.
That's the one I told you about.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So we had to hire some Yamatu to like go out and like clutter up the river so it can't run back and forth as easily, and that was expensive. I don't know why those little people need so much gold. They just live off fish. Like I don't get it.
Hey, your guess is as best as mine. I don't understand the cultures of other races half the time.
Neither do I. I mean, it's like frowned upon, but I can't memorize every culture. I would just go mad.
It's a mess. Mind you, this whole time,
_the_bread
he's not,
donated
like,
$5.
well, it's not really
Pirate said I
obvious,
need to
Ars
ask you
keeps
if we can
looking
have
at
a
his
K50
horns,
in the game,
and it's just like,
please.
it's not really obvious because he just thinks that he's staring him in the eye, but his eyes keep drifting up to his
Yeah.
horns.
So Croissant, I don't know about putting the AK-50 in the game. That'd be hard to balance. But so as
Did
you
you say?
so as you're kind of talking, your eyes kind of go up and then down and up, and he's kind of like, is there something on my head? Is like that? Is something on, like you keep looking at my head? Is something wrong?
No, it's just, I was researching something troubling about orc magic, and apparently they use brim touch horns for their magic, and it's just something I've learned recently, so it's kind of stuck in my head.
Yes, that is a bit of a sore spot between our two cultures. There was a bit of a, well, I mean, Brimtouch fought wherever they could. I mean, they're always Brimtouch mercenaries, and unfortunately, the orcs learned that our horns are, apparently full of magical goodies that they like to use. So it kind of caused a bit of a kerfuffle with, grave robbing and corpse desecration, and it's kind of developed some bad blood between us, Brim Touched, and the orcs. It's been a thing for a while now. Yeah.
Yes, I can imagine. It's just
It's
very
out of curiosity.
Unfortunate.
Out of curiosity, why are you wanting like, are you trying to research something? Like, and why are you so interested in this kind of thing? I mean, Shame and Magic it's very dark. I mean, they do some pretty horrible stuff to get some things that, mind you, it goes above and beyond the normal, standard magic stuff. But you gotta do some pretty gruesome stuff to get those spells to work.
I suppose you could call me something of a magic scholar in my spare time, and I am somewhat fascinated by the concept of developing spells of my own, like
I see.
how in mimicking racial traits that I find interesting, like the Brim Touch's ability to detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't see it feasible for me to make the spell that I'm trying to make as it is, because I don't want to offend an entire race in the process of doing it.
It's kind of frowned upon, really. The whole ripping off of horns and using them to make magic is not really exactly smiled upon by literally any Brim Touched. Yeah, it's not good.
Then, after he hears that, Ars is about gonna say something, and then he's gonna stop to think for a second, just staring at him, and then he's gonna say, "Out of curiosity, would you like to help me in actually designing this spell without needing your horns? I need to somehow get the feel of how you detect magic, and I figure that a Brim Touch would be the perfect person to work with regarding this."
Well, it's one of those things where we just kind of do it naturally. It's not really something we just do. We just simply, it's like knowing when someone's staring at you. You get like the hair pricklies on the back of your neck. It's just something we just innately have, and I wouldn't know the first thing about making it tangible, like how you're wanting it to be. I am just but a humble town greeter. I don't work with the whole mysteries thing.
That's perfectly fine. I just want to absorb or observe how.
I just want to absorb you.
No, I just want to observe how just any visual reactions or just anything that'll give me a hint that doesn't go into desecrating a Brim Touch, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, you could probably see the local warcasters in town, and they could help you, because I don't do the whole magic thing. I just do this. So I mean, you can go talk to them. They'd probably be all for it. I mean, they're all kinds of weird.
Oh, where are these warcasters located?
Right now, they're down at the wharf because they're doing war stuff down there, like the secret ingredients. I keep seeing someone come out. The secret ingredients crime. I keep laughing. But they're like, but really, you can go down there and say hello. I'm sure they want to talk to you because you're all part of the same, clique. The magic casty people.
Well, I suppose as long as I don't get attacked over there.
Why'd you get attacked?
Rather not. I don't know. It's just we've had a very odd string of incidents where we get attacked out of nowhere, so I'm somewhat paranoid, if you would forgive me.
Oh, did you upset somebody or something?
No. We didn't upset anybody, but someone we knew did. It's a whole story. It's just
he goes,
annoying.
Oh, okay, well, I don't see why that should be a big issue here in town. It shouldn't really. Nothing should happen here. I mean, we might get attacked while you're here. It'd be kind of awkward, but that's really about it.
Knock on wood, I suppose.
I suppose.
Oh, that's a human lingo. Oh, yes. I might as well show you this, but this also pull out some of his fucking manga and comics and show his.
God damn it.
There's a very large, very interesting looking human history in these, and I get some of these sayings out of it. It's actually very fascinating.
Hold on, I'm gonna do it.
Do you want one?
Do a roll for him then. So as you kind of pull
Trying
out,
to convert people to
so he never seen things like this, and as you kind of pull him, he's kind of like, oh, and he kind of leans over and he's kind of like rubbing like his small beard, like, oh, I see. He's kind of like looking him over. He goes, oh, I actually would like some of these, sure.
Oh, well, I've already read this one. This one is I think it's a
This one's
comic
derivative.
about, yes, the magical soldiers that fights I suppose ogres, or yes, this one. And he's gonna pull out a fucking copy of Sailor Moon
Nice, very nice.
and give it that to him. The way of they use magic is odd, but somewhat ingenious, I suppose. I don't know. Humans are odd.
It's odd. Why would their magic casters be all these young girls? That seems like it'd be really dangerous.
Wait,
Maybe
what?
it's some kind of odd cult or something. It's just
Sailor
a
Moon.
specialized form of magic.
So it's kind of flipping through it, and he goes, "Wait, are you telling me that the humans weaponize their children? Is that what they do?"
Oh,
I think so. It's just it's horrifying, but at the same time, they seem more effective than the adult figures in their
Hey,
life.
Susan, how you doing? He goes, "Huh? Do you
Well,
think?
that's not suspicious whatsoever.
Do you think like that? If the war gets bad enough, they'll send their. I mean, if the kids can do this, my goodness! Imagine the destruction they could bring upon us all."
Exactly. I would honestly hate to fight one of these child soldiers.
Yeah, and like they're wearing no armor. That's when they like. I mean, they have bracers. That's something, I guess. Do you think maybe like they earn their armor as they kill more?
I don't know.
God, that sounds morbid still.
They've been attacked by others in the past, so it's just like I assume that it's some kind of I don't know, magic armor.
I suppose, but yeah, actually, I like to keep these. These are probably be a fun little read. We don't get a lot of human stuff up here, so I could probably learn some things from this. You think? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. They've been very enlightening on human society.
They've been very
At least for me.
Yes, very enlightening.
Enlightening. Yes, okay.
So as you kind of leave these manga books more or less with this fucking dude, it's like, oh, excellent. He kind of takes them, and you're kind of like left in the wind then. So after kind of visiting the boy here, what's your next plan?
I guess I suppose I would go see the Warcasters.
Okay.
Yeah, because ours is now on a mission.
As you're going to try and find the Warcasters, almost flip that fucking water cup. As you're going to try and find the Warcasters, Blobby, what's your character doing?
Oh gosh, I have no idea, to be honest.
Recovering from being stabbed by a woman again.
Stabbed.
Like a song, "Stabbed by a Woman Again." It's like a fucking rock song. I got shanked by a woman.
Basically, at -8.
Oh no, you're healed right now, but it's just like
okay.
I would imagine there's trauma left over.
Emotional damage.
Yes, there is emotional damage.
I just hate women so much.
After that experience, I think, I think we would start to hate a little bit of women, just a little bit.
God, Blob, you can't say that. Stop.
I know. I'm gonna get canceled, but who cares?
Just some slight.
Oh my God, Blobby, stop.
Just some slight woman hate going on Blobby's side of the moor there.
Just a slight.
Thank you for flying
In
Gorgon
character,
Airlines.
not in real life.
Keep
in
up the
character,
good
just
work.
to let you know.
Here is more money.
Thank you, Aries.
So I
Thank
don't
you.
get bomb struck by feminists.
I hate women in Minecraft.
Okay.
Oh god.
Oh, dude.
That sounds so weird.
Why is that so funny, dude? There's some
I don't
slight
know
woman
why
hate.
you're laughing.
It's just funny. There's some slight woman hate, just a little bit.
He's
Just a little
intimidated
bit.
by
In
alpha
character,
females.
not in real life.
Me too.
God.
Oh god. Oh gosh, what have I
Step
done?
on me.
So what are you actually doing though,
Yeah, what are you actually doing?
Nephasis?
Probably
faces.
waking up from from the trip, I guess.
Okay.
It wasn't a very long trip.
So, is there anything that you want to accomplish while you're here at the current time, or you just want to hang out?
I'd probably want to get more bullets for my MP90. That's for sure.
Okay, so
Oh, it's good thing we have a lot of those.
I believe the MP90 is 5.7, not 9mm or 5.56.
And I've basically used at most 3 out of my 6 magazines.
Okay, so for you, in order to re-up on your ammunition, you probably we'll probably have to wait for the recon harpies to get back. Would you shut up, dog? Good lord.
I guess during the waiting time, I have 9 mags for the MP90, so I'll just transfer 3 over. So we'll both be at 6.
One
Thank you.
second.
Bark, 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 bark.
Hey, no one likes you. Shut up.
Wow, guard
My
is so
God.
friendly to the dogs.
Verbal animal abuse.
That poodle thinks he's a fucking guard dog. He's like, hey, don't you come in here. It's my house. I'm like, shut up. Come over here, I'll fuck you up, I swear to God. There's one day where I was outside doing something, and she confused me for something else, and she went, ah! What? She barked. The bark sounded like an old man getting shocked. Ah! Ah! And she like ran inside. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck's wrong with you? It was amusing, to say the least. But all right.
Oh god, what the hell?
Yeah. Big WTF moment. Okay.
Mhm.
So, Blobby, you're doing stuff. Q, what's your character doing? What's old Q doing?
Ah, yes. Old small Q that almost
You're not that-
died.
Wee Bobby
Probably
Q.
mining.
You're not that-
I want to see if I can find and fix the hull for the oil.
Fix the hull?
Tank.
Okay. For that, you have to go, you want to go into town or try and do it yourself?
Do it myself. I have
Oh,
learned
boy.
from my mistake.
Oh boy, I wonder what's gonna happen this time.
Okay. So, do you have any mechanical skill?
I do now.
I do
Why
now.
are you doing this?
The last 3 levels, let's go.
I put
You
every
put all
point
3
into
in
mechanics.
Not that far.
Okay, so give me.
It's really something we need.
So as you pull open the
Break it more. Oh,
as you kind of open up the engine compartment to the biking, why don't you give me a mechanics check then? A mechanics check should be
Brain power.
brain power, yeah. Why is there ballistics here? Oh, okay, got you. Because for weapons.
13.
So just use brain power, not ballistics.
Yeah, that is brain power and mechanics.
Okay. I roll to shoot the engine back to back to being better. 13. So
What if I lodge
Magical
a
bullet
bullet
to
into
kitchen
hole?
gun.
So as you're kind of looking over the engine, this thing is rough. You spent quite some time studying the manuals that were mostly in English. Thank you, Azure. Azure, shill your sponsor. Okay, I'll do that here in a bit. But yeah, so you're studying the manuals, which are mostly in English, which was kind of rough. But you're like yeah, okay, and you're kind of like muddling your way through it. And this engine is definitely fucked. Like when the impact happens, something came loose and kind of ripped some things apart. You reckon that you can't fix it alone. It's going to take someone with immense engineering capabilities to more or less shape and reforge this thing back into place. It's definitely it will be very involved for sure.
I wonder who could do that.
So I need someone with high crafting skill.
That would definitely help.
I thought it was
Yes.
mechanical.
Do you have 1 point in crafting, Zephyr?
I have 4.
Hey.
He's
Hey.
good enough. He's hired.
Hey.
Hey, bye.
Zephyr, do you think you can make up some stuff? Craft some stuff?
Well, it's going to take someone to do like
What kind of
metalworking, and you.
Is it food?
Well, you also know that you're going to need like a forge of some kind to help like these things require like metal parts to be like remade and reshaped. It's going to need somewhere where someone or something can make metal hot and shape it into something that can be kind of like replaced. It's like some of these metal tubes are kind of bent and crimped, and they got holes in them. So you need someone who knows how to work metal to kind of like reshape, reform, and repair some of the parts within this this engine part.
Like a tripping gold
Can
mine.
I like?
The problem is, I have a bunch of metal tubes on me. It's just the fact of heating them to shape it. Yeah, because I have all this stuff from my distillery.
Brother,
Well,
bring me the
Zephyr, I
tube.
believe that
Trouble.
Ars's friend has a Zephyr or a forge in town. Okay, I'm sure we can borrow it if Ars asks nicely.
Sir, can I borrow your forge?
I mean, that actually might work because I feel like we're actually friends now.
Who? You and the guy?
Yeah, this sound speaker.
You and Das Man.
We're much friendlier than we were when we partied the last
Hey, I brought you some manga. I like this. Instant friends.
I like this. Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
like, that's an easy way to do a weed.
But Q, you're definitely sure that you're gonna require at least a small team of people to make this Viking back to being fully repaired. And you reckon it's gonna take a while because, it's really hard to find rubber in this area, let alone this plane of existence. So it's gonna take quite a bit of stuff. And your first step is going off and finding someone who can do this for sure, because it's gonna be very intricate work because it's gotta be good enough work to like hold the heat and like deal with the pressure of just the engine itself. It's gonna be it won't be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I only
I'm
have
gonna-
one rubber sealant, so
I'm gonna walk my way into town to find a forge.
Okay. Do you have any investigation?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me.
Brain power and cunning.
Roll me a cunning check to see if you can kind of poke around the masses and see what's there.
18.
18. Okay, so Gullmount is definitely a place where you can pretty easily find most things, including like forges and all that. And you just kind of
Rubber.
not so sure about rubber, but you're able to find lots of blacksmiths and craftsmen in the area. As you're kind of like asking around, like, hey, do you guys know? Hey, do you guys know? Do you know who can do this? Like who can form tubes? Do this? Do that? They do kind of point you towards well, actually, let's roll for it. Fuck me.
No, don't roll for it.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Roll for
5,
it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay.
Damn, this
Are
guy
you rolling for
interesting.
NPCs?
9. Oh, that's the good one. I
1, 2,
bet.
3, 4, 5. There is a Goliath in town that does this kind of stuff. He works with the more delicate sides of blacksmithing, forging, grinding, smelting, that kind of stuff. And he lives he lives on the edge of Gullmount, kind of nearish to where the Viking is.
A Goliath doing delicate work, huh?
And why does that sound so odd to
You
you?
like
Huh?
there.
And he lives near a huge 3-story inn with like a carriage house, and it's kind of like off the corner of town, so there's still dirt, so they can have horses stand there. And and that's where he lives, and he kind of lives in that little area. And and he's pretty good because he's got like his own personal kitchen, and he's got a small bit of staff, and he kind of runs because basically he had a large family, and the kids went off to do their own thing, and his wife isn't really there anymore. She kind of like got tired of him just being himself. So he kind of lives alone. He has a small staff that kind of runs the house and cleans and cooks and kind of runs cause he's got like basically a 2-story house. So there's a few rooms upstairs he rents out to like overflow from the inn next door. So he's living pretty comfortably. And it's kind of allows him to kind of chase these wild hares, like how small can I make this tube, or can I cast this weird thing? He kind of you call him basically in some ways an eccentric craftsman for sure.
This is our guy. If he can't make it, no one can.
If he can't make it, no one can. Is he our guy?
He is our guy.
All right. So
My cunning says he is.
Let's see here. Give me a moment. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Sir, the Veil Riders need you. You're hired. Come with us.
Nice. So give me a moxie check as you try and track down just where this fucking dude is. You're asking around town like, hey, you know where this fucking giant Oni is? So just give me a quick moxie check.
No.
Or not Oni, Goliath.
I'm smart and cunning. I don't know how to talk, okay?
3.
You only know how to talk to orcs.
You're like talking in orcs, like hit and stared at, like, don't you speak that language around here, bro? But that'd be really, really bad. But you kind of ask around, and you eventually kind of track down where this dude is, and give you a second to finish the map.
Oh, you get a map for it.
Yep.
Go on.
So stand by.
I am joining the battlefield, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Roll initiative.
Yes.
I'll help you if you can
Roll
fight me.
initiative,
Roll
enter
initiative.
the
Dun. No.
He was an albino orc all along.
Fucking what? You've caught me. I'm an albino orc. So you're doing that.
Yeah,
Zephyr.
disguised as Goliath.
Zephyr, what are you doing?
I'm probably just keeping an eye on everything in our little makeshift camp.
Okay, but is anything you want to do at the current time, or?
Study my, what is it called exactly? The Recipe of the Savages book, but that's about it.
Okay, so you're fascinated by the fact that a lot of the orcs will consume quite readily a kind of like fermented like mare's milk, and it's basically like a dairy protein alcoholic drink, and they apparently love that shit, and like they'll like mix like honey into it and make kind of like an odd mead of sorts where they more or less make like a fermented horse milk.
This is like
mead.
yogurt mead.
Yeah. And like they'll get fucking like just crunk as fuck on this fucking horsey mead, and you're like, what the fuck? But as you kind of look into it, it is kind of like an alcoholic complete complete food in a way. And it's one of those things. It's part of their culture. It's kind of just they like their horsey milk. All right, so map is more or less done. This is good enough, I think.
Oh boy.
Well, let's see here. So while I'm doing this, so I'll make sure this map is good. We'll put a pause on Q. Zephyr, you're reading. Ars, you were doing what now again?
Going to the Warcasters.
The Warcasters. So down the wharf, people are going back and forth and just, you know, doing their thing. Literally, they're all kind of running around, gathering things, preparing things. It's a huge fucking kerfuffle down there at the dock. And as you're kind of looking around, you're like, oh, and you see that there are large bullet holes all over the fucking place. Like, give me a brain power check, because it's just your brain power.
Man, I'm glad I boosted my brain power. I'm gonna be using that a lot lately. Oh. Or
That's
just finally
a
smart.
23. Yeah, so you're like, these are bullet holes. You're kind of looking around. You're kind of looking. There's one large hole. You kind of track. You can't go. You got to point. Go hunt. You kind of track it, and it goes through like a wall, a pack of crates, someone's home, and it originates from the river itself. Hey, friend, how you doing? So you're pretty sure that these bullet holes are coming from that boat you guys saw, as well as been raking back and forth along the fucking shore there. So they've been harassing the harbor portion of this town for quite some time.
A lot more on guard now. Ours will, I guess, walk down to the wharf while keeping a lookout for that fucking boat, just in case.
That fucking boat.
Yeah, if he sees it, he's immediately gonna cast invisibility and run away. Honestly, because he's just tired of dealing with this bullshit.
Yeah. So no boat really pops out, but you do notice that that you see Yamato kind of climbing in and out of the water and kind of brushing the water off themselves, and you start to realize that the Yamato are basically being underwater saboteurs, and you see them holding things in their hands. And when they come out of the water, they kind of put them all on a pile, and the pile is being guarded by like heavily armored dudes, and the area is like heavily reinforced as well.
Hey, Mega, welcome back.
Welcome back, Mecca.
Okay,
Mega
so
Probably.
does ours see like what are the workcasters doing?
The warcasters themselves are kind of just milling about. They're kind of hanging out, and they're not really doing anything right now, but they're definitely on their downtime of the day. So
Talk with them.
So they're not really doing anything really per se. And as you kind of walk up, they kind of like raise their head and they actually do acknowledge you. They're like, "Hey, good morning. How you doing?"
I've been better, but I'm alive, so
can relate. Because they look
yes.
tired, like they've been through the ringer a few times so far. They're like, weren't you the guy who came in on that big wheelie thing and like you like busted through the other side of the fucking river or some damn thing?
Yes, me along with my compatriots. Yes, we did a number on the tower and unintentionally caused this mess.
Yeah,
Apologies,
you kicked the beehive pretty fucking hard there, fella.
Yes.
Could have been worse.
That wasn't really our intention, but we had to get through.
Well, you know,
just unfortunate.
We're not like mad about it. It's kind of like you could have like, you know, warned us before you exploded up a tower and just left.
No, we didn't actually explode that tower. They did it themselves.
Well, hold on. What do you mean they did it themselves? What do you mean?
There was an orc shaman that tried to cast explosion or some sort of whatever. They're equivalent to explosion. And I guess the spell failed. So it resulted in very bad results.
Is that what they're doing now? They're just starting to use like blood magic now? That's worrying. And you see like they'll kind of give each other like these kind of knowing looks, like that orc shouldn't be doing that whatsoever.
I don't know if it was blood magic specifically, but it was a form of magic and it certainly failed.
Saying, well, usually they stick to their wheelhouse of like their little bee magic. If they're starting to use ours, that's kind of a bad thing, but it shouldn't be too big of an issue. I would hope anyway. But what brings you back? We figured you'd be gone and off till doomsday come or something.
Well, We hit somewhat of a snag. We met with a squadron of orcs, and while we thankfully killed them, they damaged our vehicles, so we had to come back for repairs.
How did some regular orcs take out that? I mean, that was a big steel monster. How they take that out?
We assume that they're in contact with suppliers of all weaponry. So
So they're
it's
getting
seeing
the
yes.
fancy things. That's
Yes.
not cool
Armor
whatsoever.
piercing.
I mean, you see the
anti-imperial.
boats. You see the boat, so it's not all that far fetched.
Yeah, we've seen the boat. The boat's been a definite thorn in our side. We had to hire these Yamatu fellas to sit in the water all day with like they what do they call them? He kind of looks towards the buddy. He goes, diesel bombs. They call them diesel bombs. Like, yeah, he's got to sit in the water with these diesel bombs. So if the boat goes over them, they can slap the bomb into it and it'll explode or whatever the hell it does.
Hopefully, one day it happens and the boat fucking gets destroyed. I'm tired of dealing with this shit.
Yeah, well, we can relate because they all look tired. And like, well, so
anyway.
your thing broke. Like, why don't y'all take horses with you just in case?
We couldn't afford to take horses with us.
Well, if you
Where would
took...
we fit them?
Where would we put them?
Yeah, there's not even a spot for me to be in there.
There's very little room in our vehicle, so the most we could afford is a small motorcycle or something. At least we actually do have a small motorcycle in there, but that would be dangerous to go off alone. So we do with what we have.
So he goes, anyway, what brings you down here? You need something or whatever?
Oh, yes, I'm wondering, and he's gonna start looking around to see if any one of them's brim touched. I'm actually in the midst of trying to create a spell, and I was wondering if one of you could help me.
I mean, I suppose. What are you trying to do exactly?
This may sound odd, but do you know the Brim Touch's ability to innately detect magic whenever it's cast?
Yeah, it kind of puts it on the map for like guardian stuff and duties. They no one really knows because there's not really a Brim Touch among them. There's mostly Valley Elves here. And like, well, yeah, because usually, they can kind of like they kind of just know stuff. You know what I mean? They just kind of know when something's going on, and that's really about all we know about it. Why?
Well, that squadron of orcs that we killed, there was a shaman, and we managed to decipher some of their texts.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they have access to spells that can detect magic, but the way they make that magic is somewhat heinous, I suppose would be the best word to say.
Oh, you mean the part where they chop off the horn and then like mix it with stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's kind of a new thing. Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to find out some way to make a spell like that without requiring the need of a Brim Touch, and I need a magically adept Brim Touch to help me if possible.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing, all right, because it's not unusual for desperate Brim Touched or adorned to kind of sell their horns if they're low on money, because more or less that's the only regent we want to call it that kind of has that ability. There are a few animals out there that can do it, but they're like really hard to find and they're really hard to kill as well. The easiest access to it is that basically just those horns that grow in their head, and if a desperate Brim Touched is in need of coin, they can sell one of their horns for a lot of money. Or there's kind of a black market for it as well. What's that fucking city called? Jeff, or what the fucking name is? And he goes, oh yeah, Olifanner, or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, Olifanner. Like down there, there's a huge
What?
there's like Olifanner. There's that place down there. All the Vale folk or have a big base there, and there's a lot of like
Yes, I was
Going
based.
to a lot
I
of
was
yeah.
based there.
Well, it's a big.
It's where we
They're big like criminal rings there who they do a lot of grave robbing, and they'll secure those horns, and that's really the best place to get it is a contact one of those kind of shady folk, and you can find your horn there. It's not going to come from places that will make you feel good. That's why, like, you ever like buy you ever like buy a ring or an amulet or something that helps you detect magic? That's what it's coming from. The jewelers who make those trinkets, or what do you want to call them, they're the ones who are buying this illegal or paying for these horns, one way or the other. Either they buy a horn from a living brim touched or secure one another way.
Well, that's the thing. Currently, going to Olifanel is not possible for me and my group. So,
Well, then that gives you two options. You can go find a nice grave that's nice and fresh and of a brim touched, or you can try and convince a brim touch to sell you his horn. That's really the only two ways. And if you do convince a brim touch to give you, because it's kind of taboo, for a brim to just kind of get rid of their horns, because it can cause cranial pain, migraines. They can have kind of feedback, and if you can find one who's willing, that's great. And if you do get the horn, you're sitting on about 1,000 gold right there with a single horn.
with luck, I'd honestly rather not resort to those methods. With luck, I just want to find a willing brim touch to help me with my studies.
Well, it's what you got to do. Oh, Streamlines just crashed.